Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Let's get ready to be at our best now. Be at our best.
Yeah, it's going to be a boring one today.
Those guys don't all suck.
You son of a B!
ASAP, any score, any place, you know we bring well. We bout there. We'll pull up on anybody and get it done.
Suck it, Raiders.
He is dicked.
I love you, Jeff. Bye.
Joe, start fast.
They're the next team on our schedule, and we're trying to do something big here. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Another beautiful day.
It is.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldog, sitting with my two brothers, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Oh, hey, guys. I just want to warn you, Kyle's really picking at my shit already, and we haven't even started yet. Here we go.
He's got his fingers
Game
on
on.
all the buttons, folks. So say hi to Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. All right. Well, episode 2 of Hard Knocks is in the books. We got plenty to talk about there and plenty of Charger news. Obviously, it's never a Charger off season unless we've got some drama going on behind the scenes. But first, before we get into any of that, what is going on in the life of Mr. Kyle, the coach, Duggan?
Yeah, well, week recap. I don't know.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You know what, guys? This is gonna be an episode that is just like all right, let's go head to head. What happened in your week, Kevin? Give me something good. I'll trump you with something better. Go.
I'll give you something sad. The truck I've had of 19 years
Don't
died.
say it. No.
And I no longer, the Ranger Ranger that I've had since high school, since I was a junior. Guess what? You can't top that. And you try and top that, you're going to look like a dick because this is a sad day for me.
Trucks don't live as long as people, so move on. It was an old truck and you need to be replaced.
Tough love coming from Kyle, the coach, Duggan. What happened to it?
It died.
What do you mean
it died?
It was 20 years old.
Did the engine blow up?
400,000 miles.
Wow.
It did. I was on the highway and I started seeing white smoke, and that's never good. Blew a gasket, and the truck, Kelly Blue Book, $600.
Ooh.
Almost $700 to fix my truck.
You can get yourself a PlayStation 5 with that.
You also hit a deer and didn't get the
No,
body
not
fixed.
true. The deer
hit
me.
Yes.
It sideswiped me. It came out. It's literally the dumbest deer in the world. Jumped.
Neither here nor there.
Dude, it's Missouri
deer
deers.
hit the
It
truck.
came out of nowhere. The dumbest deer, the Missouri deer, jumped out headfirst into the side of my truck.
And it didn't get
Dumb.
fixed. So it was a broken car from the year 2000.
All right, well, we're just going to stop. You're going to just stop being shitty on my truck right now because that meant a lot to me. I missed my truck already.
Oh. It had a lot of character.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I can recall folks driving in that truck with Kevin multiple times to and from Ventura and San Diego on trips back and forth. So I'm going to miss that truck, man.
A lot of San Diego beach stops in that truck.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm going to miss you, Ranger Danger. All right, what do you got going, Kyle? Beat me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You went with sad stuff.
I know, dude. I had it loaded, locked and loaded. You were looking cocky today, and I was ready for you.
He had the gun loaded with sad bullets.
Yeah, it's sad. Things are going well.
Those ones hurt
San
the
Diego
most.
dug in front. I don't know.
But in all honesty, what you got going on, Kyle?
Hanging out with my boys. I'm getting ready for my 30th birthday coming up this weekend. We got a beach house that we rented. Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'm
really?
excited for that. Yeah. That'll be
Dirty
good.
30. Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Is that a common phrase?
Dirty 30? Yeah.
Do you remember your 30th, Kevin?
birthday.
It was a while ago. Do you remember?
It was so long ago. I don't remember.
Half
Honestly,
a decade.
I don't really remember what I did for my 30th. They're all blurring now.
Good
What
stuff.
about you, Will Dog? What you got going on, Bubba?
Oh, I was gonna not really have too much to talk about, but this morning there was a knock on my door, and I'm sitting in my underwear going, shit, I gotta put some pants on. So I grabbed my pants, I grabbed my shirt to open the door, and there on my doorstep was this beautiful package from the NFL shop. And it had this gorgeous Color Rush royal blue jersey Joey Bosa. Oh, man. Oh.
So tell us the story of how long you've waited for a
Dude,
jersey.
All right. I meant to look this up earlier. When did the new uniforms drop?
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I'm really curious now because when I went to cancel my order, okay, it was April. It did say April. Okay, I don't know why. When I looked at the order, it said that I placed my order back in December of last year, and I don't think we had the new uniforms set up quite that early. So
no, 5 months ago sounds about right.
Sounds about right. I ordered it like the day of, like as soon as they said like jerseys are available at NFL Shop, I went, boom, I got it. And I've been sitting and waiting. And just like a bunch of other Charger fans, they're waiting. They're like, it says it's not going to come till September. And the one that I had it was like saying it would be in July. And I was like, well, I can wait till July. And then July rolled around. They're going to be like, it's actually going to be August. And then August rolls around like, it's actually going to be September. And I'm like, I'm done with this. I just want a dang jersey. I'm tired of seeing all the other Charger fans with jerseys, including you, Huggin Duggan. And I was like, just screw it. So I ended up getting a refund on my other 2 jerseys, bought 2 more jerseys that were available now, which one of them was the royal blue Color Rush Joey Bosa jersey. And it just feels so good. It just looks awesome.
Very pretty.
God, it's such a dang, it just pops. Everything on this pops. I just love it. So, folks, get yourself a Charger jersey. You will not regret it. Everybody looks good in it. Everybody.
Bolt up in the tag. I love how
the
they
bolt
did
up in
that
the tag
too.
was so sweet. Oh, it's such a good jersey. So good.
Details.
Was very happy to see that. I've got one more powder blue Austin Eckler coming in, and I just got the notification that that's shipping. So next week, baby, powder blue is going to be my first powder blue jersey.
Can you do us a solid next week when we talk about what's been going on for us this week? Can you just tell the exact same story, but just do it for Austin Eckler?
Absolutely. I'm going to have the same reaction, and it's going to be good. All right. Well, folks, as mentioned, there's been tons going on within this last week. The one thing that I think caught all of us by surprise, because everything looks so good. Everything was clear sales, and football's coming back, and they're on Hard Knocks, and God, everything is just coming up roses. And then we get the news that Mr. Melvin Ingram is not sitting out or holding out. He's holding in. I thought that was a typo. I was like, what in the world does that even mean?
Well,
Ian Rappaport.
the new CBA basically, there's no holding out anymore because it's 50,
not an option.
Not an option.
No, it's 50,000 a day, and the club can't like walk off of it. Like that's 50,000 a day when you're not there. So he showed up. He's still doing everything, which is bizarre.
Yeah, it makes me think that that's going to lead to fake injuries. Like players are just going to fake. My hammy hurts, so I'm not going to play because I don't have any guaranteed money and I can't hold out. So I'm just going to act like I'm hurt. You know what I mean? It's going to go all the way back to high school days where kids don't want to run. So they know Monday is a big conditioning day. So they have some phantom injury.
Mondays are the contract dispute day.
I'm holding it, coach. I'm holding in today.
It's only Badgley out there running sprints.
So what are the stipulations? Because right now it looks like there's been some speculation. I don't think there's anything that's necessarily like official as far as the type of money that Melvin's trying to get, because right now as it stands, he's not slated any guaranteed money for this year. Is that right?
Yeah. So he's not. Yeah, that's I think the big reason. And the problem is it's supposed to push over to with the COVID year. It pushes over to the next year with the team you're on. But this is his last year. So if something were to go wrong, that like puts a lot of leverage on the Chargers side to renegotiate and be like, hey, we got all your money from last year. So it makes sense. A lot of people are saying he's just like holding out to be a dick and wants Joey Bosa money. I don't necessarily see that from like behind the scenes and everything that's going on. He's not Melvin Gordoning us. He's clearly there with the team doing his thing. It sounds like he just wants some guaranteed money this year, which you can't hate him.
They're not going to be able to renegotiate a 1-year contract on his already current contract.
From what I've gathered, and I may be wrong, is I don't think it affects our cap at all. They just shift over the amount of money into like a signing bonus for the year. That's from some of the articles I read. So it's literally just a creative
So he
accounting.
wants a signing bonus.
I don't know what he wants. I'm guessing.
Right, because they haven't really said.
So, yeah, but that's like the thing
money.
is like, what are the options? The only thing that he could possibly want is a new contract. That's the only reason you sit out. He's
not sitting out.
He's holding
in.
Correct. I apologize.
For those that don't know, apparently there is a major difference. Holding out means you're not showing up. Holding in means you're showing up to practice, you're there, you're present.
Not doing anything.
But you don't
and you may need to go to the
really
bathroom.
do anything. That's basically it. You know, and you might be cheering your buddies on and stuff like that.
I just like the long-term goal for him, which I don't care if he practices in training camp. The guy's a vet. He'll be fine. Week 1 comes around, whatever. What's the long-term goal? He hasn't come out and just said like, yeah, I want a new contract. No one knows what's going on. It's like, he's not going to get Joey Bosa money. You can't pay 2 guys that play the same position that kind of a contract. That's not an option. So if that's what he's wanting, then there's no point in this holding in thing.
Well, I think one of the most interesting things that was said was Ingram's agent, David Mulugeta, did not, basically David Popper over at the Athletic reached out to him. And Ingram said, and the agent said, Ingram is sitting out in search of guaranteed money, and did not elaborate further. So I don't think he's going for a big ass 4 or 5 year contract like Bosa. I think it's really a stipulation of COVID and wanting to guarantee some 2020 money in case something happens to the season. That's why he's there. Right. He's not, it makes sense. It's like a, I don't know.
I mean, it makes
That's
sense,
what I think.
But how many guys on this team don't have guaranteed money this year?
I don't know, but he's one of the
There's
highest
probably
paid.
a lot.
He's one of the highest in terms of who, money being made. It was Phillip Rivers and him.
I know.
So he's expecting, and he's earned because he's delivered.
He got $10 million signing
contract.
bonus in 2018 when he signed his long-term deal.
Yeah, but that $10 million's long gone. He's blown that on.
That's not our fault.
His 3-wheel cars and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not as worried about this, like doing research on it. I'm not as worried about it. I think they're going to figure something out. I don't think it's going to be a super long contract he's looking for. I think it's guaranteed money this year.
Do you think also possibly, and I'm not trying to be anti Melvin Ingram whatsoever. I'm just trying to understand what is the point of holding in thing. Is he wanting a new contract with the Chargers, or is he trying to instigate a trade before the season starts? Or option C, is he just waiting to see if a season actually happens and then he'll start playing because he just doesn't want to get hurt in training camp? I just want to know, come out and say it.
I'm going to be honest. All those options make my head hurt. I don't know. It's such a crapshoot, dude.
No one knows. Like, what's the purpose of this holding in thing?
Right.
We could speculate all we want. They haven't given us enough information.
Right.
All I'm saying is he's at the facility and he's working. So that's promising.
Right. So it's like he's being a team player, which I think is a best case scenario. It's way better than what Melvin Gordon did last year, being a whiny, like, baby that then got replaced, that then came back. It didn't do as good as his replacement. Like, that's not what he's doing.
He's not even close to doing that.
We're going to find out a lot more about this on next week's episode of Hard Knocks. Now, I don't know how much, we're not going to get any more details, but at least we'll see something, how the team's interacting with him throughout this, which I'm sure Bosa came out and defended him already in some quote saying he's going to do what's best for his family, blah, yada, yada, yada. They're not even really, like, this is the first week in pad. So it's like he's not even missing anything really. I don't know. I just wish I knew, like, what was going on. Like, what's going on in your head? Why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. Are you going to play week 1? Basically is what I want to know.
Right.
Well, there's not much time to hold out. Like, there's not a lot of time. There's only like a few weeks until regular season starts. So better fucking get on it real quick there, Melvin Ingram and Ingram's agent, David Mulugeta.
That's right.
Get on it.
Get on it, because Uchenna Nwosu is looking pretty solid right now. There's been some...
By all accounts.
It's he's in the driver's seat for the other defensive end position. And we've got Isaac Rochelle also sitting back there too. So I'm not too worried about it. Let Melvin Ingram take care of himself. Love to have him on the team. And I think he definitely wants to be there. He might be looking for some kind of an extension, not necessarily looking to break the bank, because I mean, he's a smart guy. He's got to know where he's sitting age-wise and just how long he's been in the game. But, if he's got gas in the tank and we can afford it, let's make it happen.
Right. And that's the thing, is like, he's good. If he just wants a 3-year, 4-year deal that's not huge money but guaranteed, then I think we could possibly get that done. It's just we just don't know, and that's what's frustrating.
That's what I'm going to put my money on right now as an optimistic. I think that's going to be the situation. It's just, let's just get the guaranteed money, just, take care of me and my own, and let's go play some football. So I don't think he's not making a grand statement with this. He's just, if anything, he's being as much of a team player as he possibly can without actually going out there and doing something. So, we'll see, and we will stay tuned to the news as it happens. The other bit of drama that we saw that he gave all of us a little bit of a hiccup was hearing the tweet and seeing that Kenneth Murray was not participating in the drills, taking a knee all practice. And it's just like, oh man, what? Just tell me, just say it. Just tell me what it is.
It was weird because he didn't practice at all Tuesday. I think he practiced Monday. Everything was fine. First day of pads. Because by all accounts, everyone was saying he was popping people and looking good and being aggressive.
We saw on Hard Knocks, like everyone was kind of hyped about him. Derwin's like, dang,
exactly.
that 56 is going to be real.
I think that, I think that was the mic'd up. I think the mic'd up, he was talking about 56. Yeah, which by the way, folks, you can definitely, if you don't have HBO Max, my heart goes out to you. But if you've got YouTube, and everybody's got YouTube, definitely check out on Chargers on their YouTube page. They've got the mic'd up, and God, it is so good. That mic'd up of Derwin James made
better
me
than the last episode of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
the
low
entirety.
key redeemed Hard Knocks.
Low key.
Yeah.
But I mean, because Derwin James is a fantastic player. We saw him in his rookie season. He was great. Heartbroken his sophomore season, being out most of it. But seeing him back and the personality that he brings to this team and just the energy, like him hyping up Easton Stick was just like cool. Like that's just a cool guy. Like just making sure.
He's a good leader.
Good leader.
He's a good leader.
Good leader. I'm happy to have him, man. I cannot wait to see him play.
It was interesting with the Kenneth Murray thing too, because Coach, everyone was in the dark up until like a few hours ago. And they asked him about it, and he said Kenneth Murray is working through some soreness, which is interesting because like there's going to be soreness in these kind of practices with pads and you start running into people again.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also saying that, they were supposed to have a padded practice all Wednesday, but ended up taking the pads off because everybody was sore.
Oh.
So,
Dude, the other thing with like rookies and stuff is, can you imagine how hyped up that guy is for his first NFL practice?
Adrenaline is pumping.
He was just probably hitting, like all the vets are like, dude, chill. You don't need to hit us like there's like something about it that you need to learn how to go thud. Like there's like however they weren't going to the ground. You never go to the ground in practice. So like figuring out like what that looks like and how to practice in the NFL, it's probably not easy. So he probably got popped a couple times by Pouncey or something that like he wasn't ready to go that hard, and he's probably sore. And it's like you only have a couple weeks to get ready for week 1. So like totally
keep everybody healthy. We don't need to lose anybody at practice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I saw the other day because our brother-in-law Ty is a big Bears fan. They lost a cornerback for the season with an ACL tear, and Gerald McCoy for the Cowboys. He tore his quad or something, and he's out for the season. So it's like, just if somebody's sore, give him a day off. That's totally fine. We won't freak out as long as it's not something serious long term.
Yeah.
Sore Wednesdays, contract Mondays, so everyone can just relax and take their days.
That's right.
Mark your calendars.
And then Joey Bosa had some pretty sweet things to say about our new Linval Joseph. He said he was watching Linval in action finally, and it's pretty unbelievable. He said he's got to be probably the strongest human I've ever come across. He's absolutely bullying people backwards, so he's really stood out to me. Hell yeah, baby.
That's nice to hear.
If that's what Joey Bosa, Big Mountain Joey Bosa, is saying about our new Linval,
well, not only Joey Bosa, but Michael Badgley is echoing it as well on the Mike and Ike show.
Yeah, like forklifted somebody. And if you listen to that the YouTube one, the mic'd up, somebody was saying, I think it was Derwin saying JJ, so Justin Jackson got hit on the side and got 360 spun by Linval Joseph. He hit him so hard. I think I'm gonna have to get a Linval Joseph jersey.
Dude. Holy cow. And the guy's personality is, if he doesn't end up on like his own special on Hard Knocks in the next upcoming 2 weeks, I'm writing a really nasty Karen letter to the HBO peeps.
And this might be a nice little segue if you guys are open to jumping right into Hard Knocks.
Let's get in it.
So here's where I have a huge problem with the last episode of Hard Knocks.
Okay.
Oh,
for me personally, just overall.
Let's get the bad news out of the way first.
1, I don't want to be reminded of COVID anymore. I want an escape with football. I want to see the football stories. I don't want to see a offensive coordinating
assistant,
quality control assistant spend 5 minutes on just a non-story. Like he
A
didn't
false
have
positive.
it. I'm glad
They knew
it was.
it was false positive when they were editing it. Just take it out.
They just want drama. They're trying to build
Right,
drama.
right.
I'm just saying, like, the amount of time spent on just bullshit. Like, I did not need to see Coach fumble fucking his way with the microphone, and that was like a 3-minute segment.
It was
Cut
kind of
that.
sweet. It's kind
It
of
was
sweet.
sweet, but fuck,
It's
wouldn't
sweet.
you rather
It's
learn?
sweet.
Wouldn't
It's
you rather
fine.
be in the weight room? Wouldn't you rather watch Eckler put up 2 110 dumbbells? I'd rather be watching that shit.
Kind of reminded me of old dad fumbling around with technology, drafting some kicker in the first round of our fantasy draft. It was sweet. It was endearing.
Fumble fucking with technology.
Right.
So, yeah, it was. I was really excited to get into this because I thought we were finally going to get into the stories and we're going to get into all this stuff.
It
but
was not good.
It wasn't. And when I was done watching it, I was like, oh man, the Rams really got extra time.
Yeah.
And they didn't, because I, with nothing to do today, took my stopwatch and stopwatched every time the Chargers were on.
Is it close to half?
They were on for 26 minutes.
Who, the Rams or the
were on
Chargers?
for 27 minutes.
Wow.
It was almost
Wow.
exact. The problem is what they were showing of us was so fucking boring with the
Slow motion, like
we don't need to
cornhole?
see cornhole. We don't need to see like, the
God.
the offensive quality control thing. Like all that stuff was so insignificant. It felt like we were on screen so much less.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Even when
for
it was
sure.
like almost a dead down the middle 50-50 split.
No, we got 25 minutes of Goff's backyard driving range
Yeah.
that I almost
the
fell
golf
asleep.
course.
Golf course. Jesus.
Golly, that's the corniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that looks like a quarterback with a lot of energy.
Yeah. I know.
Guy's so boring.
Yeah, like
He was
Can't
boring.
watch that guy.
Out of all of the Rams, though, he was the least like abusive to my eyes and ears. Like he was
you're
at
referring
least
to
being,
Mr. Rookie Linebacker. That's who you're referring
I have
to.
a nickname for him. I figured something out. So this guy's a new linebacker. He's with
Do you know where he
I'm
played college? Did he?
I have no idea, and I don't care. I felt so uncomfortable being in this guy's presence just through my TV. I'm sorry, it's extreme. Like I was cringing so hard.
wow.
His name is Clay Johnston.
Yeah.
He's the Rams. And he would say, he was trying to pull Phil, where he would, instead of saying the F word, he would say fudge. So from here on out, if he's ever featured on the show again, he will be known, to me at least, as the fudge backer. He's the fudge backer. You see what I did there?
Wow.
It's nothing bad. He's a backer, and he says fudge all the time. He's a fudge backer. So the fudge backer decided that he was going to say some really crazy shit because they finally put a microphone on him, and he's like, I got to really just
ham it
set the
up.
tone here.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking do this.
I need
gotta
some
take this home
fans.
for
I
my
need to
family.
sell some football cards. Let's go.
My Twitter account's got like 200 followers. This is gonna be my big break. So can I just throw you some quotes that made me sick, kind of just uncomfortably sick. Quote 1.
Wow.
I'm gonna do a dramatic reading.
I'm ready.
I need every call from your mouth to be the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Oh my God. It sounds so much worse when you say it.
Dude, that's how he said it. I'm not even.
No, I remember it. Now that you say it, I remember it. But I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's so bad.
Utah,
At the
give me
moment,
2.
it
There's
didn't
3
seem that
quotes.
bad.
Here's the second one.
Okay,
Utah, give me
2,
the
okay.
second quote.
Okay.
I want you to know, bro, Rip Liz calls, poetry coming out of my mouth. Gonna be like Shakespeare.
Holy
3.
God, that's so bad.
3. Here's an interaction with probably a veteran. This is a rookie coming in saying this shit to like veterans. Yeah. So he says, "What did you do on that play?" And then the other player said, "I rushed." And Fudge Backer said, "I love you."
I love you. Yeah.
What the
know, dude.
fudge, bro?
Yeah.
I don't
Get
know.
out of here. They gave him like 4 minutes.
Yeah,
It was
lot.
just so cringy. I was just like, this is the weirdest Hard Knocks, because I know we talked about it a while ago where it was like, we're going to be dealing with the fact we're sharing time with people, but it just makes, I've never hated a team on Hard Knocks. I hate the Rams now.
Yeah, they're just
they
stealing our
suck.
time.
They're fake and they're shitty. Two, they're
Yeah.
stealing perfectly good time I could be watching my team. So when I'm
Right.
forced to listen to the
Fudge
backer
backer,
say
yeah.
this kind of stuff, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. And just kind of took when this moment came up, kind of took the wind out of my sails.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The wind got taken out of my sails watching Jalen Ramsey going house hunting. Like,
Oh my god, how creepy was it? They
It
like
was-
put his family photos in
right.
there.
That seems
Ugh.
weird. And also just like, I don't care what like a multi-million-dollar dude is spending to get a house during a time that people are struggling just to keep their home, man. Like that was so.
Yeah, it's kind of tone deaf.
Yeah, it's like the whole season has been like COVID,
Right.
don't get COVID.
Right.
Oh, but look at these millionaires
this guy just
whining about their
blowing
contracts
money.
and
Yeah.
looking at their $1 million homes.
The funniest thing he said, which was like, oh my God, also tone deaf. He said, getting traded from Jacksonville to the Rams
Yeah.
was the best day of my life.
Oof.
And immediately after that, he says he's talking about how all of his children and how he wants to put up stuff. So
Yeah.
those weren't the best day of your life.
Yeah.
Getting out of a
getting
place
traded.
that's paying you money to go somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing he said that absolutely drove me crazy was that my abs are built of steel.
Yeah.
My abs are steel.
Yeah.
And she
was just
asked
like-
him to repeat it, and he did. Like,
Yeah, she's
you
like,
just say,
really?
If she didn't hear it the first time, you just say, oh, nothing.
She just
never
wanted
mind.
confirmation that she actually
No,
heard what
wait,
she
you
thought
really
she
said
heard.
Confirmation on the dick comment he made.
One more time.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
thought. Okay.
Come again.
Yeah, but you see the difference. You see him, and then they cut right after that to him, like, yelling at his teammates, like, I'd have got there, I'd have got there, I'd have got there. He's like yelling at one of the running backs,
Yeah.
like very not like in a fun way. And then you cut to Derwin, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. No, it's just
Crazy.
We're
We're lucky.
The different energy that both teams have is night and day. Like
Yeah.
one feels completely fake with a coach that is just kind
Yeah,
of
that's it.
sputtering stuff that like
Yep.
is like the tone is like, I'm giving you like gold here. And what you're saying is actually like, what? Like
What?
You mean like no?
like
and
when
no,
like when Goff was like, I just need to hear it twice, and McVay's like, that's the best thing you've ever said to me. It was like, really? Like, like it just it
it's so fake.
and the whole like it was again comparing the two teams. Like they haven't really showed Chargers like dropping balls, but for like a solid like segment there, it was like ram drop, and then McVay going like, stop everything. Do it right. And then they did. Like it was just like it was so
we are the Rams. We suck real bad. Dum.
Yeah, just no energy. I mean, I'll tip my hat to Aaron Donald and Whitworth. I mean, those were probably the two best things of the Rams, but everything else was just fluff. Like and the guy that got hit in the nuts, that was pretty funny too.
That was
That
pretty
was
funny.
kind of
that
a-
was the best
yeah,
part
it
of the
was
Rams
I mean,
side.
it was funny
That's the best
too.
part of the Rams segment
Cutting
so far.
between a Rams player getting hit in the nuts and the Chargers sideline going, oh, like that was weird. I was like, they're not in the same place. That was some editing tricks, you HBO Hard Knocks editors, you.
Yeah. So what were some of your favorite Charger moments? Because there was some good stuff for us on this episode.
I mean, by far, Justin Herbert fade away into the trash can in the corner. And it's not just him throwing it, but then that look under the table of like, did it really go in there? Yeah, it went in there. And just the nod.
He's clearly in that room by himself, and they set up these remote cameras.
Yeah.
So he's looking at a remote camera.
Right.
He's just like by himself. He's just like, huh? That was awesome.
That was so
immediately
good.
cut to the tightest spiral I have seen in a long time.
It looked fake, like how tight it was. Like there was not a mistake in those throws. And then who was it that caught it? Was it Virgil Green or Parham? I think it was one of the tight ends caught it with like toes in the end zone. I was just
Yeah,
like,
Virgil.
oh, that looks so good. So excited for Herbert. That was, I mean, Hard Knocks keeps making the Chargers look good when they're actually playing football. When they're actually practicing and running drills and stuff. Like the Chargers just look amazing.
I was fascinated by like the whole cadence thing, Kyle. Like I didn't realize that much went into that, right? That was fascinating. And then he went up and he did this stuff with went up to Keenan Allen and he's like, my job is to get you the ball. Like I'm your
that was a
assistant.
little corny. That was a little suck uppy.
But I don't know. I like
here's-
that. That didn't feel as like forced as all the Ram shit was going on.
It does. Here's one of the things that's coming up as an issue is Justin Herbert is not that vocal guy. He's not.
Right.
Like, that's what everyone said. You drafted him anyways. Allow him to be who he is and be a great football player who he is. All the time you hear Coach Lynn, you got to be more vocal. You got to be more vocal. You got to be more vocal. What does he do? He goes up to Keenan Allen and says, I'm your assistant. I'll get you the ball. Like, it's like,
I'm being vocal now.
I'm vocal. I'm talking to Keenan.
Can you hear my words?
You know,
That's how
an
vocal
amazing
works.
spin. I kind of on board with this now. That was a great spin, Kyle.
It feels like, it's like, I don't know. The guy just wants to be there and do his job and get it done like really well. And when he talks to his coach, it's awesome. Because Coach Lynn called him out on the cadence. Or he called it because he's like, when you do it this way, it's a run. When you do it this way, it's a pass. He's like,
right,
okay,
the different tones.
Yeah, and he goes,
like,
okay, what are we going to
soft.
do to fix it? So it's like the guy wants to be good and he's working really hard. Don't force him in his rookie season when he's probably not going to play to like go out, be this weirdo that's forcing all these conversations with these veterans. It's like veterans don't want you to talk to them. You're a rookie, get in line and do your job and don't mess up. You know, like you're not the leader yet. You've been here for 4 days. And you've like, what have you? So I don't know. I just feel like they're forcing
Tell
him
that to the
do these
fudge backer.
things. Well, yeah, you had an issue with the fudge. You want our boy Herbert to become the fudge backer?
No,
right?
No,
you want Herbert to be the Shakespeare?
Don't force
him
it.
to be the quiet guy that throws paper in a trash can and shrugs. That's the
exactly.
quiet
That's
type.
that's all I want. I just throw the football really hard and really accurate. That's what I want.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool to see Bulaga giving him some tips too. Like it was just kind of cool to see the interaction, like a veteran like that. And he's just like, we want to give you the best opportunity. You got to give us a second, give us a chance to get off the line quick.
Right.
That's just cool.
That conversation didn't feel as like he was trying to make it happen. Bulaga kind of initiated it. He responded, and then he was willing to take the constructive criticism. Like, dude, you got to give us a second to like anticipate. Get your cadence right. And he goes, listen to Tyrod. He knows what he's doing. Like, he does a great job. So that was good. Like, that didn't feel like he was going out of his way to be super talkative quarterback guy. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I don't know. It could go both ways. Like, he probably needs to be more talkative. But in your rookie season, when you're first week, like, relax. Let him learn how to.
And it's such what'd be great is if we took out like a sequence like the cornhole montage. Get rid of that and put Justin Herbert in a room with his coaches talking, so we can actually see what he talks like, what he sounds like.
Sure,
crazy concept, am I
Revelation,
right? What? But
or
like
just do like a montage of Justin talking to people and like the HBO voice, like Justin took a lot of criticism for not being a vocal quarterback, and like do a montage of him talking to all of his teammates.
Are you listening, HBO?
That'd be really funny as a fan,
It just gave you a script right there, and the football guy says
something like you'd think our first round draft picks, we have 2 of them, that somehow that would be.
Haven't even touched on Kenneth Murray yet, but the fudge backer is getting 3 minutes of screen time.
7th round draft pick that's probably not going to make the team. Yeah,
incredible.
Come on.
Well, speaking of not making the team, that was. I mean, something that we all knew about going into this season with COVID being an issue and them cutting the preseason games, that's the opportunity to see all these new guys. I mean, we talked about it on the podcast, that's the opportunity for rookie players to earn a spot on the team. And that's how Eckler earned his spot on the team. He was an undrafted free agent, had some great preseason games. And I forgot that he was number 3. That was funny to
that was crazy,
see that again.
Right?
I was like, oh my God, he was number 3? Like, I didn't even remember that. But and bringing up a good point that was the opportunity for rookies to have their chance to shine and make a spot on the team. So without preseason games, I mean, these guys got to shine in camp. And the one that was getting a bit of an eyebrow raise was Darius Bradwell, who is the undrafted free agent running back. And they were saying he was looking a little chunky.
Yeah, you got a little fat shamed on that episode. That was crazy. I felt bad for him.
Well, I mean, he's in charge of his own body. Like, he has to know where he needs to be and if he needs to get better.
Right. That's a direct correlation to his output as a running back. His speed.
Exactly.
His quickness.
Based on
it's not like, Lynn's not trying to fat shame.
Well, but he's letting him know, like, I know what's going on.
That was a joke. They weren't doing that on purpose. What Lynn said.
No, I think it's a good observation. Like, for any other person that's watching this that doesn't know, that could be like, oh man, they're doing
being
him dirty.
bullied,
But it's like, no, Lynn is a coach who was a running back.
Yeah.
And knows what it takes to be a running back in this league. And my man, you're an undrafted free agent, and you're gaining weight on me. Like, you got to show me that you care.
Yeah,
you got to be like,
it's his way of saying you look kind of slow. You know, it's not like his way of saying like, dude, you don't look good. Like,
right.
It's just like, dude, you're gonna lose a step if you keep gaining weight, type of a thing.
Right. This is a sport that requires all of your body to be in peak physical condition and to be where it needs to be on, the metrics. So it was interesting. And then we got to see Mr. Lott, holla at your boy.
Kevin's guy
was pretty cool.
We called that early, didn't we? We called that early before he's like introduced everybody. Apparently he's like everyone's favorite based on that Mike and Ike podcast. Like everybody loves that guy. But he was like, what were some of his quotes? It was like, this ain't
everything was stinking. Like, you got to get your stinking contest. Right. Get your stinking butt in gear. I'll be eating those stinking late tacos. Stinking it.
They separate from their workout and they cut to like a shot of like the city, and you could hear him talking over it, and he says, tip your waiters.
That's right.
Tip your waiters. Like, oh my God, sick burn, bro. Sick burn.
Exactly. I think that was cool. That was cool to see what's going on with Darius Bradwell. And, that was cool to see the players, having to live in the hotels. Like,
that was good.
Too
that was
short,
cool to see.
but
good.
But then they,
how much are they going to show? Really?
The problem I had with it,
I don't know. Show something. I don't know.
The problem
anything other than golf course. Anything.
I know. Well, they started showing everybody, which was cool. But then what they did is then they undercut everybody with Whitworth saying these guys aren't going to make it. It was the most like harsh like edit I'd seen. Like, you're excited to see all these guys, and then you cut to Whitworth at his like $1 million mansion, and he's like, yeah, these guys aren't going to have a shot. I was like, oh shit, let's just deflate that thing we were excited to see with these new players. So
it's sad but true. That's the real deal of what's going on this season. And boy, who better to hear from, I guess, than a guy was like on one of the earlier Hard Knocks. And then, outside of anything else, if anything, it was cool when they did the cornhole montage, because we talked about, there's a lot of slow-mo shots of some footballs, but we're also seeing some slow-mo shots of little beanbags in the backyard, which admittedly was a good shot. But the cornhole
was a good shot
in the backyard with all the cornerbacks, which was pretty cool. Derwin James, Hayward, Chris Harris, Faison, and Desmond King were all back there like hanging out and being together. Like, I'd rather see the players together hanging out and having a good time than like individual house hunting or golfing, football players. It's like, I came to watch football, and I guess it's good to know who you are and potentially where you're going to live, but like, I came to watch football.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Or no, and at least like players having fun together.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's part of Hard Knocks. Is like, normally they'll go out on like a group event and they'll take some of the players, the guys that have created storylines that they're really into and stuff. And so I was like, I'm okay with the cornhole thing. That was cool. Like, you got to see them like hanging out outside of football. But at the same time, it's like, that was the highlight, I feel like, of the whole episode for me. That was like the best part. Was a slow-mo Derwin James cornhole 3-pointer
knocking down a 3-pointer.
That was the highlight of my 1 hour of viewing.
Which is crazy, man. This show is usually so much better than this, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this is what a COVID show. This is what a COVID show looks like." But dude, it doesn't have to be a COVID show. You don't have to always just make us all bummed out about the thing that we are consistently living in. Let us escape for an hour and let us just watch the football players and learn about them and see the jokes, see them messing around. Like, let's have more fun than this.
Well, I think, that's kind of like what I was talking about with the first episode when Coach dropped that he had COVID and there was that dramatic music underneath. It's like, they're clearly creating drama, which I guess for the everyday person that's watching this is going to, maybe get sucked into. But for the fans that are actually watching that, I just want to see the players. I want to see the players playing football. Like, give us what we want. Like, stop appealing to the masses and just appeal to the hardcore fan base.
Right.
At least a little bit. I get you need to make it a show for everybody, and not everybody's a Charger or Ram fan, but come on. Like, even those guys don't want to hear about COVID like that. Like, we just, we get it. It's a serious thing, but we're bombarded with it every day.
Right. There's a fine line between acknowledging that this is an issue and showing the lengths that we have to go through in order for there to be a football season, and really just padding the show with COVID like it's a hot term. Like that, like if somebody hears COVID on Hard Knocks, then their ears perk up and then are actually watching it, and like somehow it's going to get them more viewers or something. I don't know.
It
but
sucks.
There needs to be a balance, and hopefully as the episodes go on, unless somebody else gets a false positive like Seth Ryan, which that was kind of cool, just knowing that he was Rex Ryan's son and seeing Rex Ryan yelling, and then he's like, let's get a fucking snack.
That was like that was another highlight of the episode, was the Rex Ryan Hard Knocks from like 12 years ago.
Like some of the best moments were like the flashbacks, like Whitworth's flashback, and that it's like, come on, guys, let's try and make this a show about current things.
Yeah.
But so what do you guys think about, like, we kind of did our score last week? Where does your score out of 10 go on this one?
I mean, I don't have anything else to base it off of, but it definitely felt padded. It felt padded for both sides, unfortunately. Like, it felt like they were pulling taffy on both ends. And I mean, there was a couple good nuggets. It's cool. It's cool to see the players. And given that there wasn't that much of it, this episode's maybe like a 4 for me.
4 out of 10. What was yours last week?
I didn't really give it a rating last week, but in retrospect, I'm going to say the first episode, I give it a 7 or an 8, maybe, just because I
was hoping you were going to say I'm going to give it a C.
I'm going to give it a C, C plus.
This is a 3D scale. It's letters and numbers.
I'm going to give it 1.5 thumbs up. It's 3 out of 5 stars for episode 1 for me. It was just cool to see, and again, being a Hard Knocks virgin, like, I don't know what to compare it to or what to expect. So for me, episode 1, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Episode 2, I'm going to give it a 4.
Cool. What do you think, Kyle?
I don't know. It has some redeeming factors, just solely because the Chargers are on the show half the time. So I'm going to give it, I guess I'll give it a 4 out of 10. There was some stuff that was still fun to watch, but like, no, especially like, this is not the first time I've watched Hard Knocks. And this is like, I was so excited to see my team going through what I thought was going to come. And the first episode, I knew that it was going to be COVID. Like, that's what they're going to have to address for the whole episode. I was just expecting a lot more come the second episode, and it just kind of dudded. Hoping that with pads coming on, they dive into something else. But yeah, I like a 4 out of 10, which is a hard D, I guess. Is it?
Yeah.
F? I don't know.
Whoa.
Bad.
You heard it here first. Kyle's got a hard D for episode 2. Kevin, what do you got?
I love this 3D level of rankings. I think last week I said 9 out of 10 just for the sheer damn excitement that they were on. And I was just like going to love whatever it was. But now that I've settled into this second one, I'm going to go 4. I was 9 on the last one. I'm really bummed out on this one. Like, I finished it and I was like, I looked at my wife and I was like, man, that kind of sucked. Like, I was kind of bummed. Like, I was just like, we stayed up all night to watch this, and I was really excited all week, and it sucked. It was like most Sundays last season. So it was fitting to be a Charger fan and watch this last episode, just to be done with it and be like, well, shit, that's not what I wanted. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think given that it was an hour-long episode, like if it was a half-hour episode and they really only showed you the good stuff, it might get a better rating out of us. But when you have an hour, like, you gotta have an hour's worth of like
good
material, man. Yeah, don't stop padding it with Jalen Ramsey talking about Taco Bell carrying wings now. Like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, seriously.
So, that was like, come on.
I'm done.
It's got to be
Jalen
something
Ramsey.
more interesting. Oh yeah,
I'm done with him. There's like he got enough FaceTime. Still haven't seen Keenan Allen.
No, there's so much to see still, guys. Hopefully they really pump it up next week.
Top 5 receiver in the NFL is on your episode of Hard Knocks, and you haven't put him on yet in two episodes.
You're focusing on the fudge backer. Great work.
Fudge backer gets 20 minutes. All right, HBO.
All right.
All right.
I need every call from your mouth to be the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, Kyle.
And you heard it.
Rip and Liz, baby.
Rip and Liz. I was going to ask, what is Rip and Liz? I don't even know what the hell
Right
that
and
is.
left.
That's good. Coaching, yeah, coaching tip. It's if the formation is strong right, so you know how to align, you say rip. I don't know why you don't
Sounds
say
harder.
right and left, but Liz
Rip and Liz,
is
they just sound
left,
cooler.
Liz. It's just like every defensive coordinator doesn't think that every offensive coordinator knows what Rip and Liz is, so they continue to use it.
I was going to say, like, if I get drafted, I'd be like, I don't know what they're doing, coach. He's ripping lizards, I think. I don't know.
Pop Warner to the NFL. It's Rip and Liz, strong right, strong left. That's just what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, there you go. If anybody else was wondering what the hell Rip and Liz was, there you go. I took that bullet for you. But that's not the end of this episode, folks. We also have a special fan focus. Kevin got to sit down with somebody. Who'd you get to sit down with, Kevin?
Yeah, so we're on Reddit, we're on social media, we're on all kinds of stuff, and we ran into a really cool guy doing some really cool stuff with Charger stats. So let us check out this fun little interview. All right, well, I'm here with a very special guest. I'm here with John from Costa Mesa, and we have a very special segment for you. So, John, what we do, with everybody that comes on the show for the first time, we ask them, like, how did you become a Charger fan? So, how did you become a Charger fan?
So I got into the Chargers actually through my then girlfriend, now wife's family. They were really big into the Chargers and started dating back in 2004, actually a few days before Rivers was drafted, just looking back. And so kind of really started getting into them about 2006, 2007 when they were, kind of at their peak, and then just stuck with them ever since.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're Phillip Rivers has been the glue that has brought this podcast together. So we respect that for sure. So I was just going to set it up. I found you on Reddit because you were doing some really amazing stuff that I hadn't seen pop up on our Reddit before. So kind of tell us a little bit about this crazy deep dive you did on Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, so basically, I've been, you hear so much about like what to expect with the Tyrod offense. Like that he's really bad at certain things. The one thing I kept saying is he's really bad on third downs and that he's like check down Charlie. But then the sort of thing that was kind of pulling me in is that when you look at his overall, the Bills' overall third down percentage when he was their quarterback, they were actually pretty good. It was like 12th in the league in third down percentage. You look at the air yards, he was fine. So I'm like, something's not really adding up. Maybe I can dig into the details, look through the data, and find out like where this comes from. And so that's kind of what I did.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about your background and how that you were able to bring what you do for a living to the Chargers.
Yeah, so I do have some expertise in data science. So basically, like that's about like in my gig, it's about 25% of what I do is just like coding and analyze data and just looking at trends. And there's this really cool data set that's out there for like anyone to grab, which is like it has every play run by every team from 2008 to 2018. Has like all sorts of information, like were they in shotgun, were they not in shotgun, what was the down, what was the distance, the win probability, who was favored, like just this massive, like probably 20 million like little data points in this. And so basically I decided I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to look at like how good the Bills were converting third downs with Tyrod.
Yeah. So what did you find?
Yeah.
What was the, for the audience that doesn't fully understand all this significant little million points, what was like the overarching thing that you took from your, investigation?
Well, so basically what's interesting is like, if you take like how good they are, like on average, just look at like third downs, regardless of situation, they're pretty good. It was like, again, like 11th in the league. When you start parsing the data down and breaking it down a little bit further, what you find is like the Bills were really a lot better in the first half than the second half. And then if you kind of break that down even further and kind of look at high stakes situations versus low stakes. And the way I define those is by looking at situations where it's like really close in the second half versus all other situations. What you find is in those like really tight games, what I call high stakes, is that's when he gets the worst. So basically the Bills in those situations were ranked 32nd in the league in third down conversion like 11th in all other situations. So basically, when the pressure ramps up, that's when they fall flat.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so
that's brutal. It's good you did it, but God, it's brutal.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So there's a couple things that are like interesting about it. Like, firstly, like these high stakes situations only made up about like 10% of plays. So you're getting like a good version of Tyrod 90% of the time. You're getting a bad version about 10% of the time. And, that's the 10% you really want to perform the best, but it's not like he's always bad. The other kind of like thing that gave a little bit of perspective about it is like I asked, is Tyrod the quarterback who's the worst? Like they get that like kind of melts the most in high pressure situations. And unfortunately, the answer is yes.
Oh, no.
But then you look at who's the second worst in terms of melting in these situations, and it's actually Drew Brees.
Really?
So it kind of like he's a way. It's not like Tyrod's because he's like the best in low pressure situations. That goes to like 25th in high pressure situations, whereas Tyrod's more like 10th in low pressure situations and 32nd. So he's like Brees is kind of like elite Tyrod, but he's got essentially the same problem. And the Saints are obviously doing well despite that being like a little hidden quirk with Brees.
That's fascinating. So what do you think, him being on the Chargers now, clearly a lot of different wide receivers, by all accounts, a lot better people around him. What do you think what does he need to do to avoid these situations from what you're saying, just from your perspective?
Well, there's a couple other things that were like hidden in the data. One is that like he definitely does check down a lot. So if you look at his air yard in like low stakes situations versus high stakes situations, he like actually is bombing it like downfield in low stakes situations and is checking down, in high stakes situations. Fortunately, we've got like one of the best, pass catching backs in the league in Eckler. So it might be the sort of thing that these checkdowns actually are working more than they were with the Bills. Not that, not like, Shady McCoy is pretty good himself.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. We also have like, I think a lot of good third down weapons in general. Like Keenan Allen's like the best chain mover in the league. Hunter Henry's and really good like safety blanket, just better weapons. And you'd hope that maybe even if like he still does have this problem, it kind of like he gets better at high stakes situations and low stakes situations, kind of just like shifts everything with better weapons. The other thing that I also point out in my post is like, you can say things like, oh, let's not get in third and long. Let's try to put the game away early. But like every single team in the league's trying to do that all the time.
Sure.
So I don't know if there's anything special that the Chargers can really do. Except kind of like, given the weapons, like kind of account for that. Like maybe he's not the greatest in these high stakes situations. And then I think also maybe his fans kind of like toggle expectations. Like another thing that I found with this research is that like Rivers, he's not known as the most clutch guy all the time, but actually what he does in these third down situations is he gets a lot better. So we're kind of used to the opposite. So like, when with Rivers, he gets way better when the stakes are high, at least converting third downs, whereas Tyrod gets a lot worse. So it's kind of going to be like, as fans, we got to like toggle our expectations.
Reset, because we've had so many years with those expectations and just being used to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot different reshuffling the mindset. Like I know when I'm watching football, third down, he's just going to make a completion. I'm just confident. So it'll be interesting looking at this.
Yeah, like if you look at like third down in these high stakes situations, like better than I think like Rodgers or Brady. He was like one of the best, and now we got like the worst. So
yeah,
there's gonna be things that are just different. Like we're maybe not gonna get in these tight games as much because less turnovers. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Love Rivers, but there's a lot of turnovers over the past few years. So
it's gonna be an exciting season, and I'm stealing that little chunk of information you gave me about the checkdowns and how frequently he does that. Eckler. I'm round one in my fantasy draft. I'm locking him down.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, like he's definitely got big potential there, just like because of the checkdowns. So we'll see. It should be an interesting season.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm pumped for your next breakdown. What are you doing next? Do you have any ideas?
One of them was basically like someone had suggested looking at play calling and see like are the Chargers like super predictable with their play calling. And I had done a little bit of that, and just to give like a little preview is they were extremely predictable in the Mike McCoy era, which is probably no surprise. Predictable offenses out there. So
if you want, we would love to have you back on next time you get one of these done, and you can kind of walk us through it and Yeah, man. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing, just giving us all the details. It's was really fun to read.
Yeah, I got to do something to keep myself busy during quarantine. So expect some more of these.
All right, man. Well, we'll check back in with you next time you have one. And thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, John.
No problem. Have a good evening.
Yeah, so it was really nice talking to him. He was a great guy, and clearly is capable of calculating and well beyond my feeble brain. So it was nice to see all that broken down and see kind of what to expect. And it's just realistic expectations, I think. Something to think about.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard. Like, it's hard to like not hear statistics and then want to jump on the statistics and be like, oh shit, like Tyrod, you don't perform in clutch situations. But it's like there's just so much that goes into a data point when it comes to watching a football game. Like you can't put every single factor of what happened on every play into a data point. Well, yeah, maybe it like overall it'll level out if you take into account enough plays. But there's just so much that goes into it. And like he said, third down, anyone in 3rd and 10, it's not going to be a good percentage. No quarterback in the league. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion quarterback, is second worst in those situations. So it's like, I don't know. It's just football is the ultimate team sport. And if a team doesn't convert on third down, it's not because of the quarterback. It's because the team didn't get it done on third down. So I don't know if I'm trying to be an optimist about Tyrod, and I don't want to. I'm just like not ready to accept that he's not going to do well in clutch situations on third down.
Well, it's not, and that's the past. That's not the future. He's surrounded. He has a great defense. He has all this stuff. But like knowing because how many Bills games did you watch, Kyle,
0.
when he was a starter? Yeah.
0 games.
How many Bills games have you watched, Adam, where he was the starter?
I might have actually watched one. That was like an early game because I remember drafting Tyrod in my fantasy as like a backup and then needing to use him. I don't remember who went down, but it was like, okay, Tyrod, you're my guy. And, when he was playing in Buffalo, he was good. So he was at least on my radar in that sense. But honestly, I couldn't say that I've watched it. And just wanting to look it up here, he was with the Bills until 2017. So 18 and 19 have been kind of shrugging years. So
no, I just mean what I meant specifically was like we don't have a previous base to really judge Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
We knew Tyrod Taylor
Right.
when he came to the Chargers. So
Right.
what I loved about this is this gave us like a
Little
quick
background.
bird's eye view of like what to expect, and
For
I
sure.
appreciate that because you need to manage expectations. Right now, the way we're talking about Tyrod, he should have been starter from like the day he came out of high school. That's how excited we are
Chargers should
for
have
him.
drafted him first round in 2011.
Exactly. That's how we've been talking about him, which, hey, we are a shamelessly positive podcast t-shirt on the way. That worked out really well.
Me.
A shamelessly positive podcast. But in reality, we can look at the past and still be shamelessly positive about the future. So it was nice to hear that and kind of something to keep my eye on, because I honestly forgot about how I just never really worried about third downs with Phil. He would just find a way to get it to Keenan or get it to somebody and get a first down. So
Yeah,
something to think about.
I also get worried with I know the way that I watch games, and the second the first game that he does poor on third down, I'm like, see, we got the statistics. What are we doing playing it? Like, he broke it down for us. Go listen to episode 42, Telesco.
That's right. You would have known this.
You would have known
going
this.
into it. Well, thank you, John, for breaking everything down for us. We really do appreciate it over here.
Yeah, thank you, John. You're the man.
Even though it might be tough medicine to swallow, I can see the benefit of it. If I were that kind of a football viewer, like Kyle, I think Kyle's looking at more of the metrics or the analytics of, who is performing what kind of play. Like, honestly, like I couldn't really tell you a difference outside of like all the different types of plays. So for me, the information doesn't quite sink in. I mean, I guess it's good to know, but I'm such an emotional football player. I'm watching, the team, I'm watching the players. I'm just like, just get the ball from here to here. I know you can do it. I've seen you do it before. Just do it. Come on, let's go. So
Shamelessly positive podcast.
Shamelessly positive. So yeah, I think John might be onto something as far as running statistics and just maybe bringing light into subjects that were questionable. I mean, when you brought up McCoy, it's like, yeah, it seemed like that was the talk of the town, that everybody knew what kind of a play scheme we were going to be run. It was going to be run, pass. Like, that's all it seemed to be. So I think in that aspect, we kind of know, but I think there's some different things that he could bring to light. So John, crunch those numbers for us, baby. We want to hear some did you know kind of facts. Give us some did you knows, because I want some eyebrow raises. I want some oh really. Do tell, Sherlock. And
what do we think of possibly a hard numbers John as a nickname? Hard knocks, hard numbers,
hard knocks, hard numbers.
John?
Hard numbers with John.
They're hard to digest, and they
hard to swallow.
Yep. Oh,
I need a glass of water to get this one down. Well, thank you, John, and to everybody else out there that might be like, you know what, I got something to say about this Charger Chat podcast and this hard numbers John. Who does he think he is, talking about Tyrod Taylor like that? Come on the show. We'd love to have you. We got fan focuses. So hit us up on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We're all over the place. You can find us on Reddit as well. If you got something to say, reach out. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about what it is that your such an important opinion has to say. So until then, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. Are you a rookie quarterback? Was clapping your only way of communication in college? Do you have a coach that wants you to be more vocal? Then you need to join Justin Herbert's School for Being More Vocal. Here at J.H.S.F.B.M.V, we're all about taking you from doing this to this. It's my job to get you the ball. Wow, listen to that vocality. So join me and all the other clappers from college at J.H.S.F.B.M.V. That's Justin Herbert's School for Being More Vocal. Thank you.